Okay, so dear Dharma practitioners, this is our ongoing meditation session. Be comfortable yourself and relax your body and keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and bring your attention to the the sound around you for because we are here on Zoom meeting. So for the recording, it may not going to hear the sound. So we will going to ring the bell sound, but if you can't hear the sound, just relax yourself and then focus to the silence. And if you can hear the sound, just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the blessed one, the exalted one, the fully enlightened one. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, before we start our practice session, let's take few minutes to understand why we have to practice meditation. What are the benefit? And also how we can apply it to our day-to-day life, and then how we can bring our spiritual success to that. So we are living in this 2025, and when we come to our human history, we as human beings, we went through a lot. We have enough experience regarding all kind of lifestyles, political situations, economy. But at the same time, it looked like people never going to learn a lesson. Why I say so? Because now again, the entire world, it's kind of like beginning, starting kind in the beginning of a war. So that is what the latest situation. And recently, the Ukrainian president came to White House and he met with this American President Donald Trump and the Vice President. So the discussion that happens, everybody saw. And all over the world, everybody looked at. And when it comes to leaders, when it comes to elders, when it comes to matured people, it is very important to be professional, not to be emotional. So this is the important part. Not to be emotional, because with the emotions we cannot deal. So then from that discussion, what happens? It kind of like a now entire world become unrest. So there is a already war keep going on with the Russia and Ukraine, and at the same time Israel and Palestine. And there are many other, like African countries. There are many other places. And it is not kind of like popular or not kind of like a visible. But there are a lot of places people are struggling. And at the same time now, little by little, and everybody kind of like get into emotional war. So it is very important for us to understand there are people in the world build the material things. There are kind of like weapons. There are many other tools can destroy the entire world. So that is what finally we got out of this, all the experience in the human history. So we already have many nuclear weapons can destroy entire world. So now the America and the China and Canada, Mexico, and the European countries. So this all kind of like a becoming unbalanced. In this situation, how you going to practice and how you can apply your practice and why you have to practice. So now you see, this is the reason that you have to practice. Because look, if you don't have any spiritual background, or if you don't have any spiritual foundation, or if you don't have any spiritual practice, even you become a leader, and sometimes you can become very unstable. You can go out of balance. Your emotions can trigger you. Your egocentric, self-centered mind can trigger you. And that can take you to unnecessary arguments. So that is what we saw at the White House with the Ukrainian President Zelensky, Prime Minister or President, and the US President Donald Trump. They were so unbalanced. They were so unrest. They both emotionally hijack. But out of their decisions, what happened? It affect for the whole world. So then remember yourself. When it come to you, even you are not a president, even you are not a chairman, even not you are not a prime minister, but yourself, you govern your own life. So you are the president of your own life. You are the prime minister of your own life. The government is your life. So then how you can roll it if you are emotionally unbalanced? Your family is a kind of like a government. You have to deal with the husband, wife, children, friends, and family members, which may be not in your side, even though they are living under the same roof. Even though they all are related to the name called family, sometimes each and everybody have different opinion. And if you are emotionally triggered, unbalanced, what will happen? Maybe it can take you to a war, fight, argument. So out of that, what will happen? You become unhappy, sad, worried, disappointed. So then you will make some kind of physical actions. So that will take you to unnecessary situations. So then end of the day, you become unhappy, because the happiness is related to emotions and feelings in the conventional level before we go to the deeper spiritual level of happiness. The happiness in day-to-day life, what we look, is not sustainable. It always depend on things, especially it depend on people around us, our husband, wife, children, friends and family members. When they are not nice, when they are very mean, when they are unhappy, when they are sad, worried, disappointed, unbalanced, it affect you and it affect for your family government. And at the same time, our inner behavior the same sometimes. Morning to night, we have to deal with our own mind. So that also like a government. So we have to take decisions related to our emotions, our desires, our wishes, our hopes. And sometimes our own mind bring different opinions regarding our own actions. So then you have to deal with that. If you cannot deal with your own mind sometimes, your own life going to become difficult, even though that everything around you become more comfortable. So that's why always remember, having the spiritual back is very, very important. And more than any other time, I think during this time period, everybody need to have some kind of spiritual practice. So that's why try to develop yourself little by little, little by little. So today I'm going to talk about little bit how to develop what it make an immovable tree in the heavy wind. So suddenly in Los Angeles, we experienced this heavy wind, rain, and when we look at these trees, it's very immovable. How it became like that? So there is a lesson behind it. So we can apply it to that. In Zen meditation also, it talk about how you can develop your life like an immovable tree in the heavy wind. Why? Because sometimes there are winds come, there are tornadoes come, there are unrest come, there are earthquake happens inside our own inner life. Our own thoughts are kind of like a cyclones. So the very important part then from this nature, if you observe the nature, what you can learn then. So when it comes to your spiritual practice, remember that when you want to plant a tree, you cannot plant it everywhere. You cannot plant it in a kind of like a very hard, rocky ground. And also, then when it comes to sand, it's very soft. Then you can't kind of like plant it on a rock, and Now you go to plant it in sand. That also doesn't work. And then you have to find a very rich soiled ground to plant a tree. So, like that, it is your responsibility to take care your life and put yourself into a very rich soiled mindset to grow yourself. And that is where the devotions come. And that is where the disciplines come. That is where you need some energy. That is where you need some effort to work for you. Put it to the right soil. Because you are the one who going to grow as a big tree by the time. So then, have a very clear higher purpose in your life. So that is your rich soiled ground. Don't be available to everything. Don't be available to anything. So you have to have some kind of discipline in you. So that is where you plant your tree. And then after that, once you plant the tree in a rich soil, what happened? Little by little, your roots going to hold the ground. So roots means what? Roots mean dharma. Dharma means what you hold, what you believe, what you practice, what you hold into. So that's going to be your roots. You cannot grow it suddenly overnight. So roots are invisible. You cannot show off. You cannot grow, you cannot do things to show off. So it's underneath, invisibly. Little by little, you have to grow. So then remember, when it comes to dharma, practicing some kind of ethical behavior, principles, manners, discipline, little by little, let it grow. Don't be hurry. So when it comes to practice, so meditation is a kind of like a very nice, strong root that you take to hold into the ground when your life become a tree. Because once the meditation become very sustainable, and once you have undisturbed mind, tranquility mind, you become like an immovable tree in the heavy wind. So then, before you go to the vipassana level, try to have this undisturbed mind. So most of time we see people once a while, they do everything in day-to-day life, and then once a while they go for a retreat. Maybe 1 day retreat, 3 day retreat, 7 day retreat, 10 day retreats, kind of like that. But for you, maybe you don't have that kind of opportunities just to go away for 3 days, 7 days, 10 days, like that. But remember how you can practice rather than once a while go for a long time retreat. Start to practice every day for a little bit. 5 minutes every day, little by little, like how the roots hold the ground. You every day practice little by little, little by little, little by little. Not to be hurried. So 5 minutes, you cannot tell you don't have it. 5 minutes for you to practice. Anybody have that 5 minutes. Even president to just ordinary person. Everybody have. So then remember yourself, look into yourself and how your spiritual roots, are they holding the ground? Are they strong? If not strong, be very careful. Why? For the little wind, maybe you go unbalanced. It can uproot you. It can make you kind of like, can destroy you. So then little by little, remember, let the roots to hold the ground. So develop the undisturbed mind, practicing every day, adding little by little, little by little. So when you practice that, remember not to go to that higher things. Always you have to remember, even just will take 5 minutes. Okay, you sit for 5 minutes. Don't look for suddenly. So whatever the higher result, higher mindset, maybe you sit for 5 minutes and then next day you think your mind going to be calm, relax, and all the enlightenment going to happen to you. No. In that 5 minutes, start to fix all the little things, your posture little bit, your awareness little bit, your head little bit, and the way you sit. So you start to work with the little things. And every day, little by little, not to resist anything, not to go kind of like not to be hard on anything, but simply little by little you look into you and you fix yourself. There are a lot of things in us to fix. If you don't observe, you're not going to recognize it. So that's why, look, that two presidents, that they had the meeting, the entire world saw there are a lot of things to fix themselves rather than trying to fix the country. So without fixing themselves, they cannot do that. That's the one of the best example we have to understand for us. So then remember yourself the same. There are a lot of things, little things to fix. Maybe you don't know what kind of situation come for you tomorrow to deal with. What kind of arguments going to happen? What kind of people you going to meet? What kind of emotions going to trigger? What kind of buttons other people going to push? You have no idea. So then start to work yourself. First, start with your posture. With 5 minutes in that posture, start to fix. Work little by little, little by little. It says like, you know, God take times to make beautiful things. You know, God never going to be hurry to create, nice, beautiful, pretty thing. It take time. So don't be hurry. Why? Because you are your own God. You are your own creator. So why you have to be hurry? Take time. But consistency. Keep working on it. Keep working. Keep working. Little by little, little by little. Step by step. We don't jump. We don't jump. When we walk, step by step. You make mistake. It's okay. Keep moving. Keep moving. That's the important part. Consistency take you to success. Not one day practice. And then when you grow, your roots going to go deeper, deeper, deeper with this undisturbed mind, very sustainable mind. You are not depending from around. You are not asking, you respect me. You have to say thank you to me. You don't ask that. Why you have to ask it? Why you ask from somebody? Say thank you. It's a very silly thing, but that is what we saw. So, America first. That is what always the president saying. So what the Jesus told? If you want to be the first, be the last. In God we trust, but still they didn't get that lesson. So that's why, remember, it doesn't matter where you achieve. You have to, it's going to be very important how you're going to survive there. What you're going to do once you achieve to that. We all look for happiness, satisfaction, success. Just imagine that you may achieve to that whatever you want tomorrow. But how are you going to be there? What are you going to do there? Are you going to do all the crazy, mad, silly things once you achieve to that? So that's why start to grow, develop strong, very sustainable roots. Go deeper, deeper, deeper. So that is where when you have the undisturbed mind once, you have very sustainable mind. So that is where you can see how things come to be as they are. And then that is where you can recognize how things as it is. So then you can go to the right solutions. So then because you have more mature, deeper understanding regarding the situation. So then at the same time, then you are capable to, without becoming biased to your emotions or your ideas, your viewpoint, you are capable to understand the situation from 360-degree view. You can have a kind of like a bird eye view regarding the situation, then you are anymore not a part of that situation. So when it comes to yourself, even if you look at you are having this human life. It's not just you, it's the nature, it's cause and effect. This, we belong to this nature. And then you are capable to understand. Impermanent, unsatisfactory nature, selflessness, those are very fundamental nature of this everything. And then you go a little bit deeper with that. This everything arises as a result of cause and effect. That is where the karma play the role. Action, reaction, result. Then you're not going to name anything as you. Now you have very clear understanding. So then at the same time, you develop, once you have this understanding, this foundation, once you have this undisturbed mind, what happens? You become very flexible. You become kind of like a formless. You are not resisting. You accept anything and you are ready to bend to any direction. That is where it make an unmovable tree in a heavy wind. Flexibility. No viewpoint. You become like water. You flow according to the gravity. You become like the wind. So then remember yourself. It is very necessary for you to have this quality, to have just your own life, make it kind of like a little comfortable, developing flexibility, and make it very sustainable, developing this formless structure. So then little by little work for that. Don't set up a kind of like a long term goal. No, small time period. 5 minutes every day. 5 minutes, 5 minutes. But consistency. You don't give up. You don't stop. And when it comes to that practice, you work with the little things, step by step. You work around you. You're tuning yourself. And you take out a lot of unnecessary things from you. You make very, very undisturbed mind within yourself. Your mind disturbs you, your emotions, your desires, your wishes, your hopes, your fear, your unsatisfaction, that all subattach ourselves. And then when the outside situations come, that outside situation become like a mirror and it trigger all our unbalanced emotions. That is what happens. So that's why you need a spiritual practice. So that's why every day try to practice little bit meditation. Start to sit, observe the silence, observe breathing. Let it happen. Just recognize it. Don't allow your mind to jump forward and overtake or involving or interfering with the very natural process of breathing. So again and again what I mention it, because most of the time when we going to practice this simple technique, most of people still cannot do it. So that's why Keep some spiritual back. Keep a spiritual help. Keep a spiritual background. Keep a spiritual foundation. Keep a spiritual support. Merge with that. Harness with it. Harbor into that. Anchor into that. And so when you practice every day, it's going to happen like that. So then when it comes to that, remember to practice. Every day is a good day to practice. Every time a good time to practice. Every place is a good place to practice. That's simple thing. Then it is available for you. Every day is a good day to practice. Every time is a good time to practice. Every place is a good place to practice. So you have no excuse. 5 minutes. Keep practice. So with that, let's get into practice a little bit now. So your right palm on your left and neck head straight in one line and be comfortable with your posture. So bring attention to your body and scan head to toes yourself and say Sopatveva, or may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved to wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable, may my breath be more smooth, may no difficulties come to me, may all the success come to me. Also think for a moment, this is the last moment we are spending in this very lifetime, and detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalation and exhalation. So in the beginning, deeply and gently, breathe in, breathe out 3 times and find the sensation, please. And allow your inhalations, exhalations happen itself. And when it happens, just recognize it, do nothing extra. Bring attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also as far as you can through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this. With clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe. And may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Binsua, frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away. already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one, out of anger or ill will, wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart. Forward, visualize yourself and send it as a light. To your backside, to your left side, and to your right side. Downward and upward. To all six directions at once. Like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance, or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest, wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Please say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So first of all, we offer this practice to the great qualities of the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. Also, by the power of this meritorious deed, may all of us attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May all your guardian angels and deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. Ittavata chammehi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhuta numodantu Sabbha sampatti siddhya sabbe satta numodantu sabbha sampatti siddhya Imaya dhammanu dhamma patipattiya buddhang pujemi dhammang pujemi sanghang pujemi Attaya imaya patipattiya jati jara vyadi maranam ha paribunjissami Idamme punya kammang asavakkayavang hotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu. Bless you.